We live.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Yes. Let's kick off episode 4. Got to start with those LSU Tigers. 13-0. We swept all the major awards. My boy Coach O got Coach of the Year. Our assistant got Assistant of the Year. Joe Brady. Of course, Joe Burrow got the Heisman, and he got the Maxwell for Best College Player of the Year. Jamar Chase got the Biletnikoff for the Best Receiver in the country, and Grant Delpit won the Thorpe Award, given to the Best Defensive Back in the country. So we swept awards. Also, our offensive line got.
I was about to say you forgot one.
Right, yeah.
You can't forget about the big boys up front.
Yeah, of course, the O-line got O-line of the year. Got the big trophy with all O-line on it. So, you know what I'm saying? We was just the best team this year. It was just, you can't deny it.
No, we wasn't. We was not the best team. Alabama was. They just, we just got lucky because Tua got hurt. If Tua wouldn't have got hurt, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be sweeping these awards if Tua didn't get hurt.
Yeah, we lucked up, as they say.
Yeah, Alabama gave us this, guys. They gave us a pass.
Hey, whatever, we'll take it.
Pass that ass on to Michigan in one of those bowl games that we gonna forget about later on.
Yeah, it's the first time Alabama's not in the Final Four. It's kind of weird, but you won't get no sympathy from me. You won't get no crying from me.
Yeah, from the overhead period. No sympathy from overhead period.
Yeah, right. Maybe next year.
That shit dead. You know what? I will be cheering for part of Alabama though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts. To have a decent stat game, not a win.
Yep.
Just to perform decent enough to, push them forward into the NFL. Not to, I don't want to see them get obliterated or hurt out there,
Yeah,
I expect the LSU win. I want to win. I just don't want them to go out there and just, I'm going to go out there and do all right, but they just lose.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I heard some guy on ESPN say, Jalen Hurts has never lost against LSU, going back to his time in Alabama. Like, yeah, okay. Well, let's see how this one shake out.
Yeah, because I take that bet any day of the week right now.
Yeah, so he was kind of hyped up for Hurts to face off against us. So I would like to see if he can pull this one off. I don't think it's possible. I think we got to be the prohibited favorite going into the Final Four college football playoff.
I've kind of got away from who's the favorite and all that kind of stuff because I just don't believe that they ever truly put the, you got the Vegas odds, they do these numbers. They don't really care about the statistical favor. I saw us move down in positions where we should have we were statistically better. We had the better record. We faced the better opponents, and they constantly drove us down further. So I really don't even care about none of the crap those people say anymore.
Oh yeah. Now see, what I am happy about though that they moved us back to number 1. Therefore, we get to practice against Oklahoma and let Clemson and Ohio State beat each other up, and then we take the remainder of what's left.
I still think Clemson would have been a practice game at this point. Their schedule was not tough enough for me to fear them in any way, shape, or form.
Nah. Well, yeah, because coming into the year, like episode 1, and if you remember, I picked Lawrence to win the Heisman.
Shit, we did.
Yeah, yeah. Then we both picked Trevor Lawrence to win the Heisman, Clemson's quarterback. But he hasn't looked as good as we thought he would this year. I mean, granted, he hasn't lost the game, but I thought he would just come back with a vengeance, like shattering records, 50 touchdowns. But turns out we were thinking he would do it, and our quarterback did it. Joe Burrow.
I mean, honestly, there's not enough you could actually say about this guy because we were, like last year, we thought he was going to be good. We saw all of the promise there, and it was like we were so hyped about him being there because it was like, we finally had somebody, and you could see the potential. The potential was almost there, like in every play, you saw it. It was just like we just were stuck in our ways. So I'm just glad that we got this new coordinator to open up the game for him because without that, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Yeah, shout out Joe Brady, Assistant of the Year. He definitely helped us get our game up, get our offense into the 21st century. He came from the New Orleans Saints working with Drew Brees, so I knew once we got him it would be a good thing, good signing, help our offense get in the right direction. I just didn't know it would be this dramatic. It's like night and day from last year. Like, man.
Man, that shit is not, night and day is not even, that's an understatement.
Yeah. Man. Right, he went from all right, Burrow, don't lose the game to putting the game in his hands and he coming through every single game. Like,
yeah, hey, Burrow, don't hurt them boys.
Right, yeah. That's enough. Sit down now. We can sit down. That's enough. Don't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm looking at this year, looking back, it's just a huge surprise, though, because based on last year and everything that we perceived would happen, thought it would be another defensive year. Like, we get a little better offensively, but it was like, like you said, night and day. But I still think we got to speak on that as an understatement because, the progress that we made on offense alone is like, you don't really see that in a lot of programs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and just like Burrow got better from last year to this year, everybody else on offense did too. It's just like everybody stepped their game up. Like, okay, Burrow, you stepping your game up, everybody else stepped their game up around you. It's just like, man, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the running back got better, the receivers got better. It's just like, man. Glad to see it. Glad it's my team. Go Tigers.
Let's go. But ultimately, what I think also, definitely I wanted to say it myself, too. Congratulations to Joe Burrows for the Heisman Trophy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, no.
Definitely a prestigious honor.
Wait, hold on. We can't just say Heisman Trophy. We got to say record-breaking Heisman Trophy because he shattered all the first place votes, most percentage of votes. It was a landslide.
It was like 95% or something like that.
That was something crazy. Like he broke
something crazy.
He broke every Heisman record. It's like, I knew after the Bama game, it's like, ain't no way he not gonna get it. It's like, it's his to do.
Honestly, I thought before the Bama game, I thought he was gonna get it. I thought it was a lock in. I was honestly just surprised that it was still that big of a discussion because we were the winningest team. His stats were crazy, and he was doing it by himself. Like you look at Ohio State with Fields, he put up some crazy numbers, but he had his defense was putting up crazy numbers too. Our defense was solid, but it wasn't like it was last year. Like if our defense was like it was last year, it would have been worse.
Oh
like,
man.
We would be beating people. They would probably, honestly, that shit would be like, they would probably cut the game off TV. Like, it would have been like 90, hit 2 or some shit. Like, our defense was crazy with producing turnovers last year and the numbers that we put up. Like, I couldn't imagine Joe Burrow's being as good as he is now, and that still being the thing. Like we were statistically better than most people defensively, and the fact that we would have had the best offensive quarterback in the NCAA, like, come on now, that wouldn't be fair for nobody.
Yeah, I mean, I knew coming into this year with losing Devin White, he was the best linebacker in the SEC in the country to me last year. Devin White, Greedy Williams went to the NFL. It's just like we losing 2 of the top defenders in college football. So I knew we would take a little step back, but I didn't know it would be this steep early. But the last couple games, it seemed like we got our swagger back a little bit on defense.
Yeah, it was a couple games. I mean, I like the freshman Stingley, but I mean, sometimes some of those punt returns, he kind of showed his age a little bit. Yeah. He definitely overperformed as a true freshman. That guy Stingley is the truth. We also next year got the number 1 corner coming in, so we're gonna have a hell of a tandem next year. Might be another repeat. So we ain't won it this year, but I'm thinking we are. I think we're gonna win it. So might be another repeat next year. We did pretty good on signing day. We got a lot of top recruits. We got the number 1 tight end in the country as well. So it's looking pretty good for LSU next year too. Yeah, you forgot the star player. Come on now, we got the best receiver in the world actually.
Oh yeah, yes sir. What's his name?
The coldest.
The coldest ever, ain't it?
The coldest to ever do it. You don't really get no better than that. Like,
oh yeah, he definitely gonna put them numbers up. You got a name like the coldest to ever do it. You got to put them numbers up. I think he gonna perform.
Yeah, I think we ain't good.
Yeah, we get next year. Yeah, we got a couple top O-line coming. We got a couple quarterbacks coming in. So the couple won't be bare without Burrow next year. I think we're gonna just keep the offense going, keep putting up points. Got a couple defensive playmakers coming in. So we'll be all right next year.
Yeah. Shit, our offensive coordinator alone inspires confidence in me. I just know we're going to be decent next year regardless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was a little worried. Our defensive coordinator, Dave Aranda, had a couple teams want to talk to him about head coaching jobs. He turned a couple down. I'm just hoping he stays with us. You can't blame him if he want to go be a head coach somewhere, but he's turned down a couple jobs so far, so hopefully he stays with us for the long run.
Yeah, I'm super excited about all of that. But what I'm mostly excited about is this college football playoff. So we could probably just skip past our game. I don't know. What do you think? Should we talk about that? Versus Oklahoma, is it a worthy discussion at this point?
Well, I don't think so. Got the news earlier today that 3 Oklahoma Sooners will be suspended for the playoff game, including their best defensive player, the defensive end. What's his name? Ronnie Perkins. The defensive end, he's suspended. That's their best defensive player. They was counting on him to put some pressure on Burrow, but now he's gone. I don't think they got enough firepower to stay with us.
Yeah, I didn't think they had enough firepower to stay with us from the jump, but
Yeah,
like I said.
Yeah, their defense gives up a lot of points. It's usually a shootout with Hurts coming through at the end. But I don't think they'll be able to put up the points necessary to keep up with LSU. So I think we'll win this one I think we'll win this one. I'll say 56-20.
Oh, we're doing predictions? Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Let me
go.
see.
I'll
I'll
go
say 59-24.
Okay. 59-24.
I just tried to stay in the same range as you. but honestly, I'm thinking I like Jalen Hurts, but he's prone to making errors. He's also in an offense where they require him to run. They're going to need that clock, and if they have to use him to run. They have to run the ball to produce, to actually be able to pass the ball. It's going to hurt them a lot worse because we don't need to run to establish our pass.
True.
So for them, it's going to hurt them a lot more. And if they're trying to keep up with us, it's going to be a lot of trouble for them on the back end because we can put those points up in bunches. I don't know if they can keep up with us with our defense compared to theirs.
No.
Even if they stopped us every other time, they still wouldn't be able to keep up, right? Yeah. So that's why I just see us going, us beating them by at least 25, 30 points. So.
Yep.
But I just see us dropping about 50 and then, slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah, the spread is 14. I think it'll probably go up with those Oklahoma players being suspended. So if you're a betting man, take LSU with the minus 14. And that will lead us into the championship where we will face off with either Ohio State or Clemson. That's going to be a good game, I see. Right now, I think I'm leaning towards Ohio State, being that they play tougher defenses in the Big Ten. And like I said, we were talking about Trevor Lawrence. I just don't think he's as good as he was last year. They beat up on a couple of bad teams, but I don't think they will be able to do the same things. Ohio State has a pretty good defense, so I think they'll slow Clemson down enough to get the win.
I totally agree. I would never say Clemson at this point. They haven't shown me anything at all. And I think it's not even their fault. I mean, no fault of their own. They just don't play anybody. It's like Notre Dame. People mention them.
No,
like, how could I even speak on them? And when I'm talking about these great teams right now, I mean, honestly, there's no way you can keep them out of the playoff. But I think we'll see why they don't deserve to be in the playoff.
True.
It's sad to say that you should see an undefeated. You will see an undefeated team that doesn't deserve to be there at all, because there's no way that I just don't see it. Now I think they've shown in the past that they've, we could. It's not even that we don't respect them. I mean, because any given Saturday, Sunday, any team could outperform another. But. True. And I root for the underdogs, but I don't see that fight. It's not the same Clemson that we've seen in the past.
No, definitely not.
And it's not even the same quarterback that we saw the previous year. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to pick them as a favorite with a team like Ohio State and how they performed this year. The ACC is just not as tough. And I hate to use a conference as a whole to, take down a team, but I just don't see them having the same kind of impact, and based on this, not even just the style of play, but last year the quarterback play was far better. Watching him this year, last year, I'm like, this guy could probably I don't want to say he could have went to the NFL, but
it would have been he was looking like
NFL prototype. He looked really great. It's hard. You look at a guy like that, and you're like, damn, that's it's a phenom. You rarely get that.
Yeah, true freshman. And
a true freshman at that.
Man.
I would have took him over Burrow last year, but
I
wouldn't take him over Appalachian State's quarterback. I don't know. I think he just the season this year was definitely a byproduct of everything else and having a good team around him and being in a weak conference. But I just don't see it this year.
And good thing for Trevor Lawrence is he's a sophomore, so he got to come back. So next year he can show out and get his draft stock back up. So he can still be. He'll probably be the number one pick, depending on who needs a quarterback next year.
He'll definitely be the number one pick regardless. Like, I don't see anybody coming in to supersede him just off his stature alone. You know, they rave over these quarterbacks just on their height alone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you could be, you know, so, you know.
Right.
He got, I don't want to say what I really want to say, but.
Yeah. Oh, and while we at it, we got to shout out all the quarterbacks, the transfers.
Definitely.
Man, we got Joe Burrow, who transferred from Ohio State. Jalen Hurts transferred from Alabama. He's in the playoff. And Ohio State's quarterback transferred from Georgia. But I bet you Georgia wishing that Fields stayed in Georgia instead of Jake Fromm, because Fromm is not it. Fromm is average at best.
I've seen those arguments all year, and I was like, how are y'all still arguing this? Like, it makes zero sense.
No.
But that just shows you the kind of loyalty that people put on a program versus actual human beings. Like, they don't care about people. They only care about, like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think last year Fields should have got more playing time. Therefore, he would have showed Georgia what he could actually do if he was the man and getting those reps in the game. But he didn't hardly get any playing time. I think the only time I saw him was in the SEC championship against Bama, and he only played like 3-4 plays, and one was a fake punt.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I totally disagree with you.
What?
You know why I disagree with you?
Why is that?
Because if that motherfucker would have been back in Georgia, who knows what we would have seen if he had a full year to play.
Well, yeah. Hey, for LSU's sake, I'm glad he went to Ohio State. But
yeah, me too.
I bet you Georgia wishing he would have been on that field in Atlanta for the SEC championship last week.
I mean, I agree from the viewpoint that you're talking about. Like, damn, they should have gave him a chance, and looking at how he panned out, like, they definitely lost.
I don't get that.
Like, given our team,
Yeah, right. And it's funny. It's funny because in all actuality, Joe Burrow could have been there at Ohio State right now going into the playoff, and Field could have been in Georgia.
So the scenario actually panned out.
Right. It's
he
crazy.
paved the way for him. Yeah, it's actually like a big, like 6 degrees of separation type thing.
Exactly, yeah. But hey, thank you, Ohio State. We'll take Joe Burrow. We love him. We treat him like our own. Joe Burrow, Burraueux. We'll take it. Thank you. Another intriguing matchup, Bama, Michigan. I'm kind of leaning toward Bama. I mean, even though I hate them, they are in the SEC, the better conference. And with Jim Harbaugh, I used to like him. I don't like him as much anymore. He's pretty overrated as a coach at this point. I mean, if you can't beat, well, he beat Michigan State this year, but his ultimate rival, the arch rival, Ohio State, he hasn't beat them in 5 tries. It's like, dude, they brought you here to beat them if you know it or not. But, yeah, I think I'm going to lean with Bama. I'm going to go score prediction 42-24.
Wow.
I think it's going to be handily.
I'm actually going to go the opposite.
Oh.
And not because of anything that means anything. I just think that Bama has absolutely nothing that's going their way right now. So why would I go? You know, I don't believe that they have it in them.
Okay.
I mean, nothing about what they've done in the recent weeks, or they dropped the game now. They lost the Iron Bowl to Auburn too. Come on now.
True. True.
Even though they have one of the most winning records against them in the SEC as of late, but I just don't see them. You lost to a freshman quarterback. Freshman quarterback that we handled and other teams handled. Auburn is having struggles this year, and nobody has struggled with defending Bo Nix. Ultimately,
Yeah.
what Bama definitely did, and for that reason, I just can't see them. I just can't see them beating Michigan. I just see it being one of those games where Michigan squeaks it out. I as far as score prediction goes, I'm going to say. I really hate doing score predictions because I feel like I'm betting money and stuff. I'll say 35-21 Michigan.
Okay. Now, my prediction depends on if Alabama really wants to win this game. Sometimes you get these teams that think they're better than what they are, and they come into the bowl games like, oh, we shouldn't be playing in this bowl. We should be in the Final Four. We should be playing LSU or Clemson or Ohio State. It's like, if they come in with that mentality, Michigan is looking at this game like, okay, we lost to Ohio State, but we can end the year with a bang, beating Bama ass. So I'm just hoping that Alabama doesn't make the SEC look bad and get their ass whooped by Michigan. I'm really hoping that.
Ultimately, I think they will. How can you not coming at it? You used to playing. That's another reason why. One, I think it's also. So if I talk about extra reasons, it has more to do with player, staff, coaching things. Like you got a coach in Harbaugh, Harbaugh who can't afford to lose. He literally is playing for his life.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you got a coach who's struggling to win, and a win over Alabama would definitely secure him a job for a while. Even though it's a hurt Alabama, a weak Alabama, or as they would say, yeah. I still think they should still beat Michigan no matter what. I would pick them on any other day, but they've just been playing horribly as of late. So there's no reason for me to just jump out and say we got clear pictures in this scenario. So that's the only reason why I did pick Michigan to beat them, but. Given the fact that Harbaugh is desperate, I think he'll come out. His players probably want to play for him. They're going to come out and they're going to fight. They're going to play hard. And I also think that just given everything else that they've been through this year and what we've seen from them as of late, that we just see a different kind of Alabama team. I just don't see, that fighting. When you're not playing for or on a level that you're used to playing, you usually don't play as hard. That's like being a CEO and then having to work at McDonald's or something,
True. Yeah,
you're not gonna work at McDonald's and be a fryer and have the same intensity or drive that you had when you was a CEO of McDonald's. I don't know. It's just you can't. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully they don't do like Georgia last year when Georgia got beat by Texas and Texas thought they was back and doing all that hooping and hollering, and they thought since they beat Georgia, they thought coming into this year that they was going to beat LSU when we went down to Texas, and there was no match for us.
It's all right though, because Georgia gets the opportunity to redeem themselves. They play another Texas team in Baylor in the bowl game. You got Georgia versus Baylor. What do you think about that?
Woo, Georgia, Baylor. Now, this one, I'm thinking Georgia learned a lesson from last year, going into that game half-assed because they thought they was better than what they were, and thinking they should be in the Final Four. I'm thinking Georgia will take care of business. Plus Baylor's got a good offense, but no defense really. They were up, I think, 34-7 on Oklahoma, and let them come back on them. So I think Georgia get up pretty big in the first half and just run the ball, run the clock out second half. I think it'll be I'll go Georgia 45, Baylor 17.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah.
You're not giving Georgia. I mean, you're not giving Baylor a chance at all. Huh?
No. I think Georgia gonna come in with this mind state that we got to represent. Because really, those are the two second place teams in the respective conference. Georgia's second in the SEC. They lost to us in the SEC championship, and Baylor lost to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. So even though they're not number one in their conference, they're number two, so they still got to represent.
Okay. I was going to say our next game is Auburn versus Minnesota. But first, let me say that my prediction, because I got to compete against my brother, is going to be Baylor. I'm going to pick Baylor to beat Georgia. And I say it's going to be pretty close.
Oh.
Baylor. I say it's going to be a nail biter. And I say it may go into an overtime.
Oh.
And I say 24 to 30.
Oh, okay. Baylor in the
24-30.
Baylor in the squeaker.
Baylor wins a squeaker 24-30 in overtime.
Okay. I mean, well, they did take Oklahoma to OT in the Big 12 championship. So, okay. So the next game we got is Auburn
and Minnesota. Before I say this, let me say what I was going to say. I was going to say the commonality between all of these games is you have three SEC teams, Bama, Auburn, and Georgia. Three teams that LSU defeated. Three teams that could be in this NCAA playoff, but they aren't solely because we put them out. Auburn did give us a little help by ensuring Bama couldn't fight their way back in. And then Georgia went ahead and took their L too, so they ushered their own way out. But hey.
Yeah, we did.
That's what happens when you're in the best conference in football.
Yeah, we did beat 5 top 10 teams in the country this year, Best of the best, we took them out. Boy, Joe Burrow, no sweat. Take him out. Kill him.
Can't fuck with Cool Joe.
Yeah,
He's out there like he in Die Hard trilogy or something. That boy be out there killing.
Oh yeah, cool Joe. But yeah, this is a pretty intriguing matchup as well. When we played Georgia, people were saying, "Oh, this is the best defense LSU faced all year." But all along, I thought Auburn was the best defense we faced all year because that.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. We discussed that.
Yeah, they front seven at Auburn is man. Those guys are something else, man. They got.
What's that guy's name? Number 5. Was it Brown? Something Brown. The big boy. That's a big boy. He be moving too, man. What's his name? From Auburn.
Let me look him up. It's your number 5 and number 1. Yeah, and they said those two defensive linemen probably go in the top 15. So that's how talented those guys are. Yeah, number 5, Derek Brown. Beast. That guy is a monster, man.
But Brian, it is Brown, right?
Yeah, Derek Brown. And
That's what I thought.
and number 1 is Big Cat Bryant. Yeah, they said those two guys probably go in the top 15. So that's why I think Auburn was the best defense we faced, and people were saying Georgia. And because that was the closest game we had, 23-20. We beat Auburn. So they held us to our lowest point total all year. So I think with those defensive linemen and those linebackers, their secondary is pretty good too, but their front seven is the best part of the D. And Minnesota, they got a good offense. They got that new coach. I forgot where he came from, one of those small schools, but he brought his offense in to
PJ Fleck, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot PJ. Yeah, PJ.
Receiver, yeah.
Shout out PJ.
North Illinois, baby.
Yeah. But I think the physicality of Auburn's front four and their front seven, the D line and the linebackers will prevail. I don't think Minnesota's going to be scoring like they were all year, because when they faced another physical team, the last game they had against against Wisconsin, they didn't fare too well. So I think Auburn will represent the SEC like they're supposed to.
Yeah, unless we see a phenomenal game plan from PJ, I don't see them winning. But I am rooting for Minnesota being the Big Ten team, you know.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening.
Nah.
It requires too much on their end.
Yeah.
I don't think they got it in them.
Yeah. Plus Auburn got a pretty good running game, and Bo Nix, as long as he don't make mistakes, freshman mistakes. Well, at this time of the year, you're not a freshman. You done been through the whole season, so.
Yeah.
I think he's learned from his mistakes.
Honestly, I was trying to tell some of my friends, man. I think like y'all gonna be sick next year if he not there or something. Because I don't think he going nowhere because he got that privilege or whatever. But but he is definitely. I definitely think I see a lot of promise from him. It's just like he was thrust into that position, obviously because of the privilege too. But it made a scenario for the fans where people didn't support him and didn't trust him, like, to win games. But I think he got what it takes. Like when you watch him play, man, you see some stuff where you just can't deny it. Like some stuff, regardless of what people say and what they try to force on you, you still see how great a player really is. And I think he got it in him. I think we're just not seeing that as of late, and as of it may be because of Gus Malzahn too, but.
Oh yeah.
Because he should have probably been lost his job.
Oh yeah. And Auburn's backup has entered the transfer portal, Joey Gatewood. So.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So that pretty much solidifies Bo Nix as being the starter. I think he kind of figured that. So he said, "Let me go and get up out of here. Let me go." Well, I can give me some time. So, yeah, Joey Gatewood will be leaving University of Auburn.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he entered the transfer portal. They haven't said where he might end up yet, so it's a fluid situation so far. But he was highly rated coming out of high school. But, once Bo Nix got the job, it's like, okay, that's his job. His daddy played at Auburn, and, they love him. So,
Yeah.
wasn't going to get too much playing time. Him staying at Auburn, especially with a true freshman playing. So he's going to be there at least 3 years. I mean, unless he changed positions, which he wasn't going to do. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have did that either.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't see much of Joy Gatewood, and I seen people chanting for him, but I just didn't. I mean, I don't know who deserved the job from the get-go. Like I heard people talking about the privilege and whatnot, and I saw a lot of promise from the guy. I mean, it was after the fact, though. I don't know if he deserved it in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it kind of hard to judge those kind of situations when you don't really got first hand. I never seen Joey Gatewood. You only see Bo Nix fuck things up. But we did get to see him play, and I think at this point now we've seen enough from him to say like he will be a better player next year.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see him. I wish I could have seen Joey Gatewood play a little bit more because I like his athleticism and what he brought to the field as well. But
yeah.
I'm actually excited to see where he goes. You know, this whole transfer quarterback thing is becoming a big business. Like,
oh yeah. Hey, I have absolutely no problem with it. I seen some people on Twitter talking about it and saying, if you commit to a school, you should stay there, blah, blah, blah. But the head coach of the team could have a disagreement with the athletic director and leave middle of the season and go to another team. Like, so the coach can leave, but the players got to stay there. No. They should be able to transfer just like the coach can leave and go right to the next team.
Yeah, those people don't make no sense. Just like the other stuff.
Yeah. You getting a free education. You should stay, but man, shut that. Ain't nobody trying to hear that.
Yeah, free education. Pay me, boy. What you talking about? Free education?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I can't eat this education. Need some money.
Exactly. My kids can't eat the diploma. It ain't gonna keep them warm. It ain't gonna get them to school.
Exactly.
Right? It ain't gonna keep no roof over their head.
Exactly. Yep. So those are the intriguing bowl matchups that we decided to talk about. And college football playoff starts next weekend, December 28th. My son's birthday. Shout out my son, JR3. James, what's up with you?
Shout out to Trey.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try to get done with my son early so I can watch LSU play. So it's going to be a pretty good weekend next weekend. Watching the college football playoffs.